Hello. Hello, my lovelies.
Hello.
Hello to you. How are you? Why is Gerald silent? Is he doing it deliberately?
No,
I'm doing it deliberately. I'm making the anticipation drive you crazy.
I could
It's
hear
just-
everything you were saying in my head.
Well, I'd be like, just have to sign out, go back in again, wouldn't you? How are you two? All right, my lovelies?
I'm good, thank you, Richie. How are you?
Good. I'm okay, thank you. Lots of people in chat today. Super excited here.
Ooh. I am too. This is lovely. This makes me very happy.
Oh.
Well, it's LongStache time, isn't it? I've got the banner. Let's put the banner up.
Yes. And I have this.
LongStache.
LongStache. That's what I should do. I should do this.
Yeah, with the moustache. I like it.
LongStache. I
Should
can't
we
do
say
it.
hello to a few people?
Oh.
Have you got
Yes.
your chats up? Because we can do this collectively if you like.
Yes.
Do you want to do that?
Yes, let's do it.
You go, Ben. You read out a few.
Hello, Tanji. Hello, my lovely. Lovely to see you.
Am I
Hi,
looking at
Beth.
the chat on there?
Lovely
Okay.
to see Beth. Hi,
Beth, yeah.
Sandra.
Ooh,
Lovely Sandra
Beth,
from the
yay.
Doing Well. Hello, Leon Close. I don't think we've come
Hello.
across you before. Lovely to see you. We also have the lovely Robin from Toadstool Tarot. Hey, Robin. The lovely
Robin.
Debbie. Sorry,
Hi,
guys, I'm just
Debbie.
going on and on. It's your turn, isn't it? I'm
Go
getting
on,
carried
Gerald.
away.
You can do a few.
Well, I am just catching up because I'm going old school and I'm using my phone.
Oh.
I know, old school. And Sandra, Leon, Close, hello.
Yeah. Regina,
And
she's listening and working.
of course Regina is listening and working, but I'm going to look, Regina. Look.
Apologies for anyone just joining us.
Oh my gosh. So Debbie is here.
Hi, Debbie.
Okay, now I'm caught up. And Gina M.
Hi, Gina. Robin.
And then Orshi is here.
Orshi,
Hey,
hello.
Yeah.
Ren is here. Hello, my lovely.
Ren, yay.
Working but listening.
Oh.
Yeah, sucks
Some
to be
great
working.
people in
I
tonight.
know. Lots of people, lots of new people I haven't seen as well, which is lovely. Robin's just got back from grocery and he's making a ham sandwich for you three big hams. I think there's a compliment there somewhere. And Beth says you brought the Simplicity Tarot after your walkthrough.
Oh, I hope you enjoy it, Beth. I think you'll love that. It's such a lovely, yes, she'll love it. If she's new as well to tarot, and she'll absolutely find that really brilliant, that deck.
And that was a bit intense, your stare, that is. Yes, right. And I have to remember to use that stare for good, because when I was a supervisor, people would like, don't look at me, because I'm just... Can you imagine me as a parent?
No, I don't want to.
Quite frankly.
I love you too, Richie. Thank you. And by the way, everybody who's watching the playback, thank you for being here. Leave comments because we want to hear from you.
Yep. Because this is a bit of a kind of two-parter, isn't it, Gerald? Because we should perhaps explain why we're here and what LongStache is all about and what we're doing. And I'm going to pass it over to you, my partner in crime. Thank you. LongStache was born in it was born in a conversation about I was talking about wanting to do readings online, and Richie was like going, I'll do readings with you. And therefore LongStache was born. And the idea is that we would do them 8 times a year. We do them at the Sabbats. And so it's 2-part. The first one is this is the first one of the
Imbolc. For this discussion, for this cross-quarter holiday between Yule and Ostara, we talk about what it is, what it means. So there's an educational aspect on it. And then Monday on TarotStache at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. GMT, we'll actually be doing readings specifically around Imbolc.
And I've put the link into the chat for that, for when it comes live.
Thank you. And it's live.
We're ready.
So it's there. So,
but
but everybody's already liked and subscribed to all of our channels, right?
Absolutely.
So, but the other thing is we also like the idea of inviting guests to share with us. So this discussion, Richie and I have different paths. We have different experiences, and this is an environment to where we share those things and we learn.
Yeah.
We make sure we listen to each other. Right, Ben?
Absolutely.
You have to listen. And then really try to understand. And so we've been blessed with having other people join us. And then Ben has agreed to come on and do the readings with us on Monday. So it's quite lovely. So
and that's exciting because that's the first time Ben's been on LongStache, because fortunately he couldn't come on for the Yule one. So this is like
LongStache.
I've just seen, look at this. Robin says, LongStache was born in A, a barn, B, a saloon, C, a corral.
I'm going B.
I actually think it was born in all three, wasn't it?
Conceived, possibly.
Yeah. But then, I mean, and everybody helped to figure out the logo for LongStache.
Yeah, absolutely. We had to vote on it.
It was gorgeous. So yeah.
I'm just seeing people saying, and all she said, she's going to ask for a birthday special read. I think just jumped the chat, but Monday is her birthday, I think.
Oh, happy birthday for Monday, also.
So we will. Well, we'll give details at the end about how it works on Monday. But so Imbolc, I'm interested in our kind of how we pronounce Imbolc, because again, it's often up for conversation. Gerald, what do you like to call it?
I usually say Imbolc.
Imbolc.
But I know there's a lot of, and yes, here are my notes, everybody, #overachiever, but it's also, but I've also heard it recently say now I can't say it without the B.
Yeah, Kristen said I pronounced it without the B being silent, so that would be.
Hi, Kristen.
Imbolc.
Can one of you say that? Imbolc?
Imbolc.
Imbolc. Okay.
And I pronounce it with a bit more of a G on the C, so it's Imbolc, like that. I've heard it said that as well. Each to our own.
Well, I'm all about the B, so I like to say the bulk at the end, but that could be wrong. So.
And Gina said I thought it was Imbolic.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, hello, Jonathan, and anyone else that's come in.
Ooh, hi.
When I say Imbolc out loud, it sounds like I'm experiencing acid reflux as well. Well, you be careful on that ham sandwich then, Robin. All right?
Yes. We don't want no Mama Cass stuff going on.
So let's start off. Before we go into Imbolc and the Sabbat and everything that we go on to it, let's just think about what's happening this time of year. What does this time of year mean to you, Ben? Do you like it? Is it a bit January?
No, I don't like this time of year. Yeah, I always don't like the time after Christmas because it's such a low, isn't it? And you've got to go back to work, and then the Christmas decorations come down, and it's always such the nights are long, and it's just like you've had all the all the fun of Christmas, and then it's like you're kind of stuck, aren't you, in this long month of January, and because we don't get paid for ages, we get paid early in December, so paydays late.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit like takes a while to get back into the swing of things for me.
Do you suffer with the January blues a bit?
Yeah, I have this year, definitely. I've really suffered with it. But to tell you the truth, being on YouTube this year has helped a lot because it's given me stuff to do. So I'm not kind of like just not doing anything and thinking too much, I suppose. It's like, you know, but yeah, I think I do, Richard.
I'm going to say, overlapping you there, your videos that you produce with your singing and dancing is one of the many ways we can get through the January blues.
Oh, thank you.
Well, yes,
brilliant. Yeah. If you haven't checked those ones out, do have a look at Ben's channel there because there's some super, very camp. Can I call them very camp?
Oh yes, they are very camp.
Very camp.
I mean, you know, it wouldn't be a Ben video if it wasn't camp.
And that's Beneficial Tarot. Like and subscribe and click the notifications.
What about you, Gerald? How do you feel about this time of year?
I'll be blunt. I don't like this time of the year. In particular is because it's really cold. And we get a lot of snow, and it's sort of depressing, especially because I have been retired. I'm not going out and about, and it's like, oh God. So I actually went out of the house for the first time in, I think, 2 weeks on my own, maybe 3 weeks on my own yesterday. And it's, oh, that's funny. I got a planner, which relates to what you do this time of the year. And so I don't like it because it's cold and it's dreary, but it's nice to notice the light coming back, but it's still really cold.
Yeah.
So
notice we've got a few people with February birthdays. All she said that it's actually Earth is on the 1st of February, so it is actually on Imbolc there. And Debbie has also got a February birthday.
Yes, I think I knew that.
Yeah. And all she says, ask me if I like February. Or she, do you like February? Put it in capitals so we get the answer. We don't miss that one out. There's a lot of love for your backdrop, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Guess who bought that for me? It was, Jeffrey.
Oh,
such a nice man.
What a nice man. Yeah. So just going back to the January blues, I've just been doing nice things to try and get through it. Actually, haven't suffered too badly this year. Normally, January is pretty awful, but yeah, I've been doing bits and pieces just to get through it all. But it is a funny time of the year. Who knows? It's all shit. Ooh.
We want to know.
And Debbie says we're about to get 1.5 feet of snow tomorrow, so I'll be hiding.
Oh wow!
I mean, in the UK, that's the thing. I mean, Ben, have you had much snow where you are?
I think we had a day after New Year where it was like a bit covered, but that was it. And it's just been really cold.
Yeah.
You know, it's horrible, isn't it, this time?
That's the problem. We haven't had any snow here at all. We just had a few hard frosts, but that's it. And it's a bit like, I quite like it to snow.
Do you get much snow in the south, Richie? No.
It has to be coming in from Russia that way. A couple of years ago, they had the beast from the east, if you remember that.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah. That was terrible.
But no, it just tends to be quite damp. But this year, actually, it's been really dry, so it has been really nice. But it's just not very, doesn't feel very seasonable, that sort. So.
Yeah, I think part of what it is for me is I get antsy as well.
Yeah.
It's just ugh.
Yeah.
It's like
but that's what we're here for, to bring joy and talk about Imbolc.
That's true.
Yes.
I'm loving the moustache curl that's going on. For those of you that aren't watching but listening, we're kind of, I don't know how we're describing. Being camp.
We're being silly because we're having we're bringing light into our lives.
Yeah.
We are. I like
We
that.
are. That's so true, Gerald.
So should we
Sometimes
talk about Imbolc then? Should we get onto it? Because as I said, Ben, you're new to this, aren't you?
I'm a virgin to Imbolc. I don't know much.
So just to go into that bit. So
Yeah.
we're talking about the Sabbats. So how much did you know about Sabbats before? And do you think about how they might tie into tarot or any of your practices?
So I knew about Yule and that and the Halloween one. But I didn't really know the names very well. But I knew of them. And like Gerald, you've got one behind you, haven't you? Is that a Sabbath wheel?
Yep. And you can't see it, but it's over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that Imbolc is an ancient Celtic festival associated with a goddess.
Yes.
Is that right? Called Bridget?
Bridget. Absolutely.
Bridget.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
lots of different names, but yeah.
Yeah.
Bridget.
And it signifies the beginning of spring on the 1st of February. And that's all I know really, guys. And I know people do like kind of have do rituals and things like that, don't they, to celebrate it and stuff. But that's my knowledge of it so far.
It's to do with having being. I think it's the term is to be in the belly, or it was talking about the first milk that the animals would produce, particularly the sheep. So if you think about it, it's the first time proper milk was being able to be drunk in times past, and you wouldn't have to drink the nasty water or the frozen water or the snow off the roof and melt it that way. So it must have been a terrific time for people sort of in the past, where that hint of winter's just about to come to an end and you can kind of almost see the end of it. But as we all know, February can be a bit of a tricky month in the Northern Hemisphere. Just when you've put away your winter clothes, it comes in blowing a hoolie again, doesn't it? So
exactly.
We don't need to do that one there. But Gerald, what about you? Your thoughts on Imbolc and any bits there you'd like to add in?
Well, I also refer to it as Candlemas.
Yeah.
So as well as Ladies' Day and St. Bridget's Day, because for me, I'm getting ahead of myself, but at Imbolc, sorry, I can't not say the B. What I do is I actually bless all of the candles that I'm going to be using for the year. And I buy those at the after Christmas sales, after Yule sales. So I have probably a good 300 tea lights that are ready to be blessed and welcome into it, because I burn a lot of tea lights. And so
how do you bless them out of interest? What would you do with your 300 tea lights?
Well, I do have a flame of Bridget, which is passed down from the original flame. And so I will ceremonially light one of those with the intention to spread that to all of them, to provide that connection to ancestors. And in particular, I do charge them and bless them with bringing light and bringing warmth and bringing my plans to fruition. So that's Imbolc for me it's the time when we actually start to do the planning of what we're going to do, since we're actually being able to start to go out.
Yeah.
So
it's the first little seeds, isn't it? It's
exactly.
And of course, what we should always remember is that this is just the Northern Hemisphere. In the south, it's going to be Lunasa, going to be Lammas. So that's so in a way, as we are looking to the new year sort of coming into fruition and nature beginning to kick back in again, in the Southern Hemisphere, they're thinking about beginning to harvest and beginning to kind of slowly shut down for the winter. So it's brilliant how it just has that balance that goes on, isn't it? So I'm going to pop up. I've done a little bit of research on our Bridget. She's a goddess of a lot of things, and I didn't put all of them in there. I'm going to have those scrolling along the bottom there. So Kristen's right, she's a Celtic goddess in Western Europe and Wales, Scotland, and Ireland particularly is her. And she's Saint Bridget, isn't she? And that's where the flame comes from. I can't remember which part of Ireland it is. And I've just found an image of her because I like to have a picture of her. Hopefully it will.
wow.
Oh, sorry, the ring light is
Nice.
Yeah, I can see that. That's really good, Richard.
It's really. This is from the Carl Gray Keepers of Light there. I quite often just have that card up on the sacred space there, just to honour the top. Have you ever tried to make a Bridget cross?
No, I haven't.
Have you got one, Joe? Yeah. Oh, look.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at this. What's yours made out of?
This is made out of pipe cleaners. And 2 years ago, we actually made them out of reeds. And those were prepared and soaked. And we made those in ritual the last time we were able to be together. Yeah. And it just is very nice. And so
that's really nice.
I have a couple of these. I have a couple of these around the house, but then I also have when I was still working, the one that we did in Circle, I actually took to work, and it was there, so I knew it was there, and I had it in my locker, so every time I put my coat away, I could see it.
How lovely!
So, wow.
And you can search online for how to make these. So, and this is a great thing to do with family, and kids, and as you're doing this, there's great ways to set intention around what you want to have happen for the coming year. So it's a nice reminder. It's a Post-it note back from the old days.
Absolutely.
Very creative.
I like the idea of using pipe cleaners because I tried to make one for the first time last year out of reeds, and it was a disaster. I have to be honest. It was. I didn't actually use reeds. I used kind of very thick leaves, or stems of leaves and stuff. The cats ended up eating half of it. It was all a bit of a mess, to be brutally honest. Not as Bridget would actually want it, so it all got binned. But I think I might go buy some pipe cleaners or have a look around the house to see if we got something else.
Oh yeah.
I like the idea of having that. It's really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oxmisha said, had a spell where I anointed the tea lights with oils and herbs, put them in a box, would pour one out every night and light it when meditating, then poured all the wax in a bowl with flowers. What a lovely.
Oh, very nice.
That's nice.
Very nice.
So she's
Saint Bridget.
Yeah, absolutely.
Saint Bridget to you.
Beth says, I have the Bridget cross. Love it. So powerful. Mine is made from pewter. Ooh.
Very nice. Which goes along with she's metalworking, right?
Metalworking, yeah. So it's interesting that she's got these kind of flames. To talk about some Bridget's flame and the hearth and everything to do with that and purifying. So you've got the idea of fire and smoke. But yeah, so metalworking. But there's also a lot of water element. She's also the goddess of many of the sacred springs as well.
Oh.
So,
this is really interesting.
Thank you.
Yes,
we're learning something.
We are. I'm enjoying this.
Learning is good.
Oh, and you said, thank you for everyone. My rituals expand every year based on my growth and experience.
Yeah. Yeah, because I do some sort of you have to teach me how to make a Bridget's cross.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll probably,
Is there a video coming? Is that a weekend video you can make?
Oh, I have to get some. Maybe.
But there are videos out there, aren't there? I know I've never seen them out of pipe cleaners, or you can get a book, I think, or something. So.
Yeah.
It says purifying, forging, and flaming the fires.
I love that.
And Kristen says it's interesting that a goddess oversees a traditionally male activity like metalworking. Okay, so that's Imbolc. So that's the 1st and the 2nd of February. You can celebrate it any of the few days either side of it. So that takes us to Tuesday Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday is the 1st. Yes.
Yeah. And of course, it's halfway, as you say, Ben, between Yule and Ostara.
Yeah.
The equinox. So I love the fact that it's measuring out the quarters of the quarters as it goes round and everything.
Yeah.
There as well. So lovely. So what signs of the end of winter have you noticed? Has anyone noticed that there's a change in the air, so to speak? Ben, I'm going to ask you.
Do you really want to ask?
Ben, have you opened your front door yet?
Well, I haven't been out the house since December. So.
Get out of the house. Get out of the house. We'll find out on February 2nd. Ben will go out. If he sees his shadow, we know that we have 6 more weeks of winter, right? Is that what we have coming? Can you imagine the dance for that?
Oh wow! I mean, that would be like, amazing. That'd be camp, very camp. Yeah, I have noticed that it's not as cold. I don't feel it's as cold, and you start to see little. Sometimes I have seen daffodils come up a little bit around. Yeah, which I know sounds crazy, but the odd one anyway. Which normally comes up a little bit later, actually. But I know that's crazy. But at the start of things budding in the ground.
I've noticed the stems of things and the odd snow drop out. I've noticed as well. I
was going to say not a full-on daffodil.
It's
not like
tulip fields.
That'd be a bit concerning. But no, that's the kind of things I've noticed, and people seem more happier, don't they? With the longer nights drawing out, and it's getting lighter. I think
the days seem to be getting. It's noticeable they're a little bit brighter. I've noticed on some. Yeah, I'm beginning to get home and it's still light.
Yeah, when I get up, because I will get up late. It's light out, which is quite lovely to have. So
yeah. You noticed that?
I don't know if you noticed it, but I've noticed lots of bird song as well seems to be around. Birds seem to be singing a bit more in the air. I noticed those ones around. So. First signs of the spring. Let's hope it's going to keep coming on quite quickly. Gerald, about you? Any big signs? Have you noticed anything in your area?
Not in particular. Usually there'll be some crocuses coming up toward the end of February. So, but because it's now cold and we may not have as much snow, I'm starting to see patches of the ground rather than them being covered in snow.
Yeah.
So, but and I think for me, because because the end of January and February it gets so cold. It's I noticed the things like the birds singing. We'll start to see cardinals here. And that's very nice. So there's a lot of that activity where I'm like going, it's so freaking cold. Why are you out? I mean, please.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a couple of birds I heard on the way to work. It was freezing the other day. You could see the breath coming out. I had to wear a hat. I don't often wear a hat out, but yeah. And these birds were just going for it, hammer and tongs with their singing. I was like, how do they survive? And I often think, how do these daffodils, when the bulbs that have come through, survive that being really cold overnight and, getting frosty?
Yeah.
It is miraculous, isn't it? It really is.
Amazing.
It's glorious, yeah.
Just going to look at some of my pudgy squirrels are becoming more active, says Kristen. They're nuts. No pun intended.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So one of the things about Imbolc is cleansing, and you've already talked, Gerald, about purifying and blessing and like that. And that goes off with the idea of spring cleaning.
Yes.
And spring cleaning is something that we should all encourage to do. So I'm I actually chucked away some clothes from a cupboard today. I actually did some wardrobes out today. Now that's thank you, because it is a very hard job. They're all the clothes that haven't fitted for at least 2 years, but the ones that you keep just in case. Do you, probably Ben, you do. Gerald, do you have just in case clothes?
Of course I do. I have drawers of them. I mean, first of all, they're, you know, I really like them and they're cool, but they just don't fit.
Yeah.
They just don't fit.
I have attachment issues with chucking away clothes like that, which I had to have a word today to myself. It's like, you're never going to be that size ever again. And quite frankly, if you are that size, Richard, you're going to probably be ill to get to that size. So I chucked them away. I just got rid of them and just thought, what am I hanging on to? And the amount of space in my wardrobes was miraculous. So yeah.
Ooh, you have room for more tarot decks and crystals.
I don't keep them in my wardrobes. Perhaps I could. Ben, have you got any convenient ways of keeping tarot decks?
It's a good question, Richie. One would think you're psychic. So yes, I thought today, I thought I need a secluded space for them because they're everywhere. They've been everywhere. And you know, this time of year, you feel like having a bit of a spring clean, getting your stuff in order. So I thought, I know, I'll buy a shelving unit and place decks in there and just have them all in there. And the idea is that nothing would overspill these units. So I'm hoping to, so I've had them come today, actually, these shelves. So I've put them all in there, most of them. And once I've, got used to it, I'm going to start sifting through them. And I think I would like to have a bit of a clean out of some of the decks that I don't use, because I think it's a good time to, get rid of the stuff. I always think it's a shame to have those decks on the shelf when there's someone out there who might want to use that deck. Do you know what I mean?
I do. So you're having a bit of a sort out to welcome in the new one.
Yeah, and I've got a specific shelf that I put the ones that I really genuinely have passion for, and I know that on that shelf I wouldn't want to get rid of anything on that particular shelf. So anything that I really truly
passionate shelf.
A passionate shelf.
Passion shelf. You heard it here first, folks.
Wow.
As it goes down, you get less passionate
shelf.
as you get further down the shelf unit.
Sorry, say that again.
So they get less passionate as you
go
the
down. Bottom shelf is
not
very passionate at all. That is just pure. I was going to say something. No, it's just pure. Yeah, I don't use those decks. They need to go. They're on the way out, the ones at the bottom.
Are they?
Yeah, definitely.
Swept into a bin bag.
Yeah.
Sandra did say that she cleaned her tarot shelves today with Florida water.
Yes.
Oh.
I was going to say to you, Ben, have you done some special cleansing of your shelves unit, or did you just?
I wiped it down because, well, when it's new, you like to just, because it's wood, but like when you have new wood, it's kind of like, gets everywhere, doesn't it? A little bit. It's a bit dusty from the factory, isn't it? So I've wiped everything down, and yes, but I'm like Sandra. I don't like dust, and I thought this particular shelf I've bought has got glass doors on, so I can see the stuff that's there, and it doesn't get dusty, I suppose.
Beth would love the smell of Florida water.
Yeah,
that's a really Virgo thing to say. Robin's suggesting you have a jumble sale on your front lawn. I mean, it's going outside though, Ben, doesn't it?
Well, that's not good enough, is it? I mean, have I even got a front lawn, Robin? That's the question. But no, the trouble is nobody would come to it because everybody would be like, nobody around here is into tarot, so.
Oh, right. Hi there. Are you going to sell them, do you think, or just donate, or?
Well, you two, I always like to say to you two, if there's any that you like, because you get first dibs, don't you? But if that, it would be.
Oh, sorry. We win.
But no, I usually like to sell them because, especially the indie ones, because I think you can get a little bit of money to save, for the next one.
A jumble sale, would you call it a garage sale in the States?
Sidewalk sale, jumble sale, yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. So. It's a garage sale.
Yeah.
Which I never understood that, because people really aren't selling their garages. No. They just put all their crap that they don't want, and they're selling stuff that's inside of it.
Chris says, I keep Florida water in a spray bottle next to my reading space.
Oh,
nice.
Very handy if you happen to have big glass wearers like we are. I have, the glass stuff you get to clean your glass. Rinse that out. Very good for spritzing and doing things with sacred water and Florida water.
Oh, that's nice. So I also, one of the things that I do at Imbolc is I'll clean all of my altars and my statuary. Yeah. As well as any of my altar tools or my working tools. This is the time where they get shined, they get cleaned, they get dusted, they get rearranged. So,
do you do that every Sabbath or just at certain times of the year?
I do it for Imbolc for this one, very consciously. But my regular altar that I use, my working altar, I refresh that every Sabbath, or whenever I feel like it. After a particularly intense working, I'll let that settle, and sometimes it just needs to be rearranged to finish it up.
Would you also do like a whole room or house cleanse at this time, or would you do that just when you feel like it needs an airing? And
I would do it both, actually.
Yeah,
because and Ben and I on Monday we were talking about we started our conversation with it's time for a cleansing and clearing and just lighten everything up.
Yeah.
So
it was great. That was.
Yeah, it was. It really was. So
needed that.
Gina's asking about cleansing the decks and how would I do that?
Because Gina was also said about decks. Would you buy a used deck? I think she said. Yeah. And a lot of people have said this. I personally, I don't mind buying used decks at all. And if some people say, oh no, I don't want to use the other person's energy, but you can always use an incense and sage incense and use that around the deck, can't you? And I think that cleanses it. But I think it's really whatever you believe, isn't it? Yeah. But I don't think there's anything wrong.
I've bought loads of decks secondhand decks off eBay, and there's only a couple of times I've opened them up and gone, ooh, this feels like it needs a good clean. I mean,
yeah. And I know for me, one of the great ways that I have, this could be a whole different chat. How do you cleanse your decks? But I'll write that down. How do you cleanse your decks? But
that's a good question, actually, Gerald.
I know. And so I think one of the ways to cleanse them is to reset them, put them in order.
Yes.
Sandra's just said that as well. That's exactly what actually they often come reset, but if they're not, then yes, they have to be definitely reset.
Do you know though? I bought a deck. This was years ago off eBay. Someone actually bought one for me, a friend who knew I was into tarot at the time, and it worked so well. And I was like, oh my gosh, whoever had it before, it just everything worked so well on it. And I don't know what energy was around it, but I couldn't believe how well it worked. So sometimes I think, it powers up the deck.
I think you're right. I think, well, if you think about why people may get rid of their decks, either they didn't get on with them, but that means they've actually shuffled them and worked with them.
Yeah.
Been working.
Yeah.
Or for various, and other reasons, perhaps they just had to get rid of them. Perhaps the other person's passed on and it's been a loved deck.
Yeah.
Loved. And so therefore it's had a good vibe there. It's very rare that probably once I've had a deck and I've just gone, oh no, I don't think I like that. But
have you guys had decks that have been felt they're angry at me, or they're just I know that sounds crazy, but there's one deck I've got that just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Really? Ooh. Do
well,
spill.
It's just I talked about this actually on one of my on one of the VRs I did, but I did a reading with it, an interview, and it was really like it had. I felt it had attitude. The reading did, and that's the only I know that's the only way I can describe it. And it was like it was as if it was saying to me, "Look, I'll tell you what I think, and if you don't like it, well, that's your own problem." That's the kind of attitude I would get from it. So I haven't really used it since, but I don't know. I saw it today in the cupboard actually, and I got it out, and I've kept it in some bubble wrap because there's just something about it that's
put a large bit of obsidian on it.
Yeah. Obsidian or yeah.
I think it needs to be dunked in holy water or something.
Selenite.
I've got a deck that acts a little bit. It feels like it's a teenage girl being a bit petulant and a bit what now kind of thing about it. Don't bother me now. I'm on my phone. It's kind of like that attitude. And it's kind of like, oh, there we go. Look, just get on with it. I get that attitude from Star Seeker Tarot. Okay.
Well, and Ben, sometimes you need a deck like that.
Well, that's true, and it's funny because I feel it's there. I feel it's boring into me, but as we talk. But you're right, Gerald. I think it's telling me, well, look, you come to me when you're ready because I'm just going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you say, you need a deck that's just going to tell it straight, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it is one of those things for me. I think, I have gotten both used decks and new decks, and used decks they'll need deep cleansing.
Yeah.
Just because of how they, the travel that they had, but sometimes somebody will actually energize or charge their decks before they give them away.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, here, let's pack everything of yours up and thank you for staying and then go on. And others were just like family members have tossed them out. So,
yeah.
But Chris Yao wants to know what deck it is.
It's called the New Moon. Do you mind if I just hang on a second?
Go get it.
Madhouse Tarot. It's very expensive.
Can you guess what shelf it's on?
Bottom shelf.
Yes. I shouldn't say that in front of it. I mean, this is how crazy I feel. I feel like if I say anything better. So it's this one. The New Moon Tarot.
New Moon Tarot.
Oh, is anyone getting any vibes?
It looks dark, doesn't it?
Show us.
It's got
if you dare, open pop the box if you dare.
So I think.
I was talking about the Star Seeker. Yeah, that one.
It's a pip deck. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that very well. But it seems very feminine energy to me, and it's like a teacher energy. I say energy, you know what I mean. It just feels like it's a very strict matriarchal person telling me off.
I wonder if Ben, that would be a deck you would use for the readings.
Well, I will. Do you know what, guys? That's a good idea, and let's do it. That's a good idea, Gerald. And it's funny because as you said that, the tower's just.
Well, and the other thing is I mean, the other thing is you don't know the deck very well, so you sort of have to go. Some people do interview spreads.
Yeah.
Chris Kelly McFadden has that. Zane has got some, and it's just like, okay, can we work together, and what can I do to help us work better together?
Well, I mean, because I love the images on this deck, and you know, I bought it because I really liked the look of it, and I've only did one interview with it, and because of that first interview, I've just been a bit, oh, okay, I'll just put that away for a bit.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to bring it out on Monday. That can be my third deck because, yeah, I was looking for a third one. So
there we go. Have a spare one just beside, but don't put them together just in case, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in a
I love how you. I love how you had it wrapped in bubble wrap. You know, it was in bubble wrap, and it's like, is it a magical bubble wrap? Have you done anything to it to cleanse it? You know.
Yeah. Well,
what are the bubbles made of? Fairy breaths or something?
Unicorn something.
Yeah. When I get a deck, though, even if it's a brand new deck or second, I never tend to open it. I let it sit for a few days in the house to pick up the vibes before I start to look through it. And often a deck I haven't worked with, I'll just let it sit there and perhaps put some quartz or something near it, a crystal, just to kind of
attune it.
Yeah, good word, attune it. Not kickstart it, just bring it back into line, so to speak. So,
yeah. Well, and okay.
Sorry, Jen, we'll carry on.
Oh, I was just going to say, let's take this back to the holiday. This is the holiday where we're planning. And I was actually reading online where some people, they have received all of their seeds for their garden. And so they sort them out. They work with them. They bless them. And it's sort of like what we can do with our decks. We rearrange them and we'll discover the things that we have forgotten that are there. And so,
yeah, I mean, you're right. This is a very gentle Sabbath. I always think it's not racing around going, it's just gently getting us into it. And that's what I like about it. And it's very introspective as well. We often think of Yule as sitting there all wrapped up and thinking about the past. But I think this is the right, okay, the new year is kind of beginning now. We're getting the signs of it. So now let's actually stop thinking about it and make plans and get those plans made for the year. The time to be sitting down and just relaxing is kind of over. And now we need to think about stretching our legs and getting out. And as you say, organizing the seeds or going for walks, clearing the energies, airing the rooms, all that is that part of it, isn't it?
Well, and I really do think that we've been introspective because of Yule, and we've spent the time mending things because mending and repairing stuff. That's a good idea, Beth.
I'm just going to do
put
that.
a rose quartz
Thanks,
in the back. But also, if we've been introspective, I think, Richie, this is a good time to actually start articulating to others in your household what your intentions are.
Absolutely.
So it tends to be people start to move around a bit. And I don't know about you, but right after Yule, I just want to stay under the covers and, wrap myself up and hibernate. And now I'm like going, I want to stretch and I want to feel that. And
I'm exactly the same, and kind of definitely to banish anything that's not banish, but get rid of anything around, like try and get rid of anything that's left over from last year. So any old food that you may have lying around, or or some of the old candles that were hanging around from last year. It's time to just fresh start, but make plans. And I always think it's very, as I say, very small little things you need to do, and don't have to go and redecorate the house. You don't need to, it's just cheap, easy, kind of nice little things that you can do to mindfully make yourself feel more active and more positive.
Yeah. And I have to say thank you for the two of you, because what I have missed out of this in the last couple of years, I'm holding up my notes because I continually add to them, #overachiever. The idea of spring cleaning and do it now before spring shows up, because if you're clearing away before you need to, this is one of those, this is good, clear out now, so then when spring shows up you can actually do the work instead of preparing to do the work.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
And that's what we often don't like doing, is the preparation. It's a bit like if you do paint, it's the rubbing down of the woodwork, isn't it? And the wiping of the walls. You actually just want to get on with splashing the paint on the walls. That's actually what you really want to do. But of course,
right,
we have to make those plans, and often they're the ones that take the longest time. But you have to do those ones. Yeah. Just reading some comments. It is a new moon on the 31st, so lovely. And again, good time to do cleansing and planning. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really need to make my creepy tarot video, because something that happened after I got a deck made me wonder if it was evil.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Oh, we'd like to know
things
more
like
about
this.
that.
I would as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fab. Oh, it's not fab, but you know, it's interesting, isn't it?
Oh, Nisha said I will. Just got to be in the mood for it.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Make that a hashtag.
Yeah. Gotta be in the mood. We're talking.
I was thinking. No, I was thinking evil decks. You know.
Oh, don't think I've got any.
There's just that's just the one for me that was a little bit. Oh, you know.
To be honest, if I had a really evil deck, I probably wouldn't keep it for too long.
No.
Hey, Gerald, have you got any?
I think you've made Gerald blush for the first time.
No, because I'm laughing because if there's, I don't think I have evil decks, but what I would do is I would put an evil deck next to one of my really good decks. And, you know, and see what happens, you know, sort of put them in a box, see if they have a conversation, you know, good versus evil, you know, I can just see that.
Yeah. Or she's just reminded me, and it was on my bit of paper to talk about, but yes. As you know, we do Tried Spread Revisited. There are lots of members in the chat today. That's the Facebook group that we started to practice new spreads and kind of work with them for a period of time. And we've changed it up this year. Just we're doing them between Sabbath to Sabbath rather than every new moon, just to give us a bit more time to work with them. And the first one, which is Orshi's new spread, will be available on Facebook, Tried Spread Revisited, on Imbolc, which I believe is going to be posted in the next few days. And Orshi's very excited because she volunteered to do this because it was also her birthday, as we've mentioned already, her birthday time as well. So please come and find us on Tried Spread Revisited for have a look at the new spread. If you want to contribute to spreads there, you're more than welcome to. Post pictures or write comments, more than welcome there. But that is the new one starting on Imbolc on Tuesday, but it might be posted before.
Yeah.
Or did I do that? Okay, I think I did. All you need is find the hashtag on. Thank you, Gerald. I love your cards.
They're fun.
As you said, yeah, I'm going to shut up about my birthday. Sorry, don't need to shut up about it. We love hearing about it.
Oh, yeah,
it's special
because you have your computer back and working. So, because you know,
Jonathan was. I felt like burying the Book of Azeroth Tarot. I don't want to accidentally something with a thing. So talking about decks, you've decided now then what deck? Are you going to have any more decks that you will be doing the reading with on Monday?
Yes, I've got two guys, two of those.
Oh,
and
you happen to have them there?
I do have them prepared. One
magic.
It's one that actually came this week, and it's I'm loving it. I really love this deck, and it's called the Wandering Star. So Star is my favorite card because it signifies hope, and you know, like especially this time of year when you're feeling like flat because of January, I think that the message of hope is always quite an important one. So I love this deck, and the one thing I like about this as well is it helps with the key meanings as well, because they're within the writing as well, and stuff. It's just like you know what it is, don't you? You two, you know what, you got me onto that broken mirror, didn't you? It's kind of that stained, a little bit
it's
like
that vibe, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really nice.
Oh, Sandra got that one for Christmas. Xmas.
Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it, Sandra? Me and Sandra, I'm not joking. Our tastes are very similar. We like the same kind of decks.
I wanna get the two of you on to do a deck casual sometime.
Yes. Definitely. We've got a lot in common.
Debbie said I had an immediate connection with the Wandering Star.
It's beautiful, isn't it, Debbie? It's just really. I love the card stock as well. I mean, I just it's really
It's on
nice.
Kristen's wish list.
Mm.
Oh, she's bought a new laptop, so it's not as powerful, but oh well. But you're back in the circuit. That's good to hear.
I'd love to do something with Orshi. Orshi, I must contact you because I'd love to do something live with you. And then the other one, guys, is the
that's an interesting choice. Do explain.
I know. Yeah. So I had this for Christmas actually, and I really like the symbolism in Robert's decks, and this particular one because he's done the other one as well, the alchemical.
Yeah.
This is
very. Is it this one? Is it this one?
Yes, that's the one, Gerald. And I just love the. It's quite. I like the simplicity of it, to be honest. But the symbols in there, and
it's also got that kind of medieval vibe that I know you like.
Oh, I do, Richie. Yeah. I love the medieval vibe.
Yeah. And it's got a card called Regina on it, and that can't be wrong.
It's what? Sorry.
It had a card with Regina on it just now. The Empress, I think it was.
Well, yeah. Ooh. I mean, that's another sign.
Yeah. Have you been dreaming about Regina recently?
There she is. There's Regina with her dog lying there. She's just made a crown out of wire.
Yeah, no, I haven't had a dream since the last one, thank you. You were also in that dream as well, Richie, but you had to go home. You had to go home on the train.
That's typical, isn't it? When things get exciting, I have to go home.
But yeah, I just love the artwork on this one. So I thought it'd be a brilliant one to start because, to be honest, I haven't used it. And I thought with it being new and the Imbolc is, like that newness, isn't it? I thought it'd be a good one to kind of start with.
This is one, isn't this? The Terror of the Sevenfold Mystery by Robert Imbolc. We talked about doing a deck casual about this one.
Yeah, we did. Definitely. Yeah, we've got to do that, Gerald. Definitely.
Yes,
I love his decks. I think they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Gerald, what about you?
Well, Ben, how did you go about trying to figure out which decks? That's my question.
So I wanted the Robert Place one because, like I said, that was one that I hadn't used for a while, and I just thought, well, I haven't used it, and I thought it's the newness of it. I thought, no, this is a good time to start with this one. And the Wandering Star, I read with it last night actually, and I just really, really felt a good connection with it, and I thought, well, I'm going to pick that one as well because it's really resonates with me. And I couldn't think of a third one, and you guys came up with a third one tonight with the new moon. So I've got a mixture there of ones that I really resonate with, ones that I haven't resonated with, and then the middle one, which is brand new to me. So I think that's kind of like a good mix, really.
Yeah. Sandra and I just added more to our London shopping list.
Oh,
awesome.
You just ordered the Buddha Tarot. Gerald, show it. What have you decided your deck to get for Monday?
Well, I'm thinking about them, and what I have done is, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I go to my decks sort of thinking about and putting out there what I'm doing, and that we're doing Imbolc readings for LongStache. And the Spirit Within tried to get my attention because it's emerging from the darkness into the light, and really, we've spent a lot of time within ourselves, and we're now getting ready to go outside. The Slow Tarot is one that tried to get my attention. I've not worked with this one
before.
Let me pull out some and the images.
I'm waiting for a Robin joke about that one, Toadstool Tarot.
I love the slow.
Yeah.
I love that one, Gerald. Brilliant.
And so, yeah, I mean,
ooh.
So it has, It has it has a nice palette for me. The palette could be fall, but it's very warm in color, and that feels like the returning of the light to me. Yep. So
beautiful. Do you know, it reminds me slightly of the Anna Kay, Gerald.
Which, full disclosure, I have both Anna Kays, and I haven't opened them yet. Shock runs through the crowd, but they're just so that one. I have the Mott Tarot, and I was also thinking about the Bonefire.
You do like your Bonefire.
Oh, you do.
You do.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that, Robin, that Stephen Bright did a video about Beatrix Potter postcards as an oracle.
Yeah.
And so I thought about this one with the sense of it feeling the fire within and wanting to get out and be dynamic. So
did you know that they've brought out another one, Gerald? The same artist.
Yes, I missed the Kickstarter. Yeah, I missed the Kickstarter.
You can buy it again now, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thanks, Ben.
I contacted her the other day, and I said, "Oh, I'm really," because I couldn't get on their website, and I said, "Are you still selling it?" And she got back and she said, "Yes," and it's still the first edition, I think.
Is it? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other two that I'm thinking about, which always seem to be Sabbaty for me, are the Wildwood and the Druidcraft. Just because anytime I'm focusing on a Sabbat, it feels very specific to me.
Yeah, that's a really good choice, Gerald, actually. I've just realised I haven't chosen anything like kind of that would represent the...
It's fine. They're your decks. You can do what you
They're your decks. Yes. So
what you could do, Ben, is go and get one card from all 78 of your deck.
But which shelf?
I'm using all of
them.
Oh, the passionate shelf, obviously.
I would put the passionate shelf up really high so that you had to actually reach up for it instead of, finding some other decks that you could be passionate about.
Yeah. You have to climb a ladder like that,
Yes, you would have to climb the ladder. But see, doesn't this sort of it's returning to the warmth and wanting to feel okay, so I think I've picked the Slow and the Spirit Within and the Bonefire. So I'd love to do a Bonefire deck casual with anybody. Be in contact, people. Yeah. Okay. Would anybody be willing to do a Bonefire Tarot deck casual with Ben and me? I mean, he's invited himself, which is always lovely.
Yeah. I don't have the Bonefire, and I don't want the Bonefire, so I wouldn't come on. I watch it, but I wouldn't come on it. It doesn't do it for me.
Line Strider. I recently was gifted that, Beth.
Oh, I like the Line Strider.
Nice, yeah. Is that the one that's thinking?
I was thinking the Line Strider for actually Ostara.
Oh, yeah. It's got lots of rabbits in it, I need to remember, hasn't it? And lots of animals and things.
Has anybody heard of the it begins with it's not liminal. I can't remember the name of it, bear with me. Because I really like this deck, and I can only see it on Amazon. It's only in the French edition, but they did bring it out in an English edition, but it's indie, the English edition is, and it's called the Lumina.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. I think that's quite is that quite, I was going to say springy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I like that one,
Yeah. Ostara,
On the Swords in the Bonefire.
Now I want to see it. What about you, Richie?
Oh, thank you for asking.
By the way, this is Richie's live. He's in charge. I'm just making sure that he gets to participate.
Well, I did a bit like you did. I stood in front of the shelves and sort of conjured my inner Wicked Witch of the West. Go, fly, my pretties, fly. Which one are you going to be? And I've come up with some strange choices. Not strange choices, but quite interesting. I'm going for the Spacious Tarot.
Oh, okay.
Because
Good
I
choice.
have tried to use this, and I always have a bit of difficulty with it. So there's nothing like picking a difficult deck to do on a live reading on YouTube, is there? Because let's face it, who needs challenges in life?
Especially when you have a peanut gallery who's, you know, talking the whole time. How's that working for you, Richie?
But I thought this is lots of. I'm not going to get the cards out now because a lot of people know what it look like. But I thought there's a lot of sort of nature in here, and I feel like as nature is beginning to return, I wanted to use that one. And then this one spoke to me, the Linescape one, which is the one, which is a really beautiful deck. But again, it's one of those that may take a little bit of time, but it's very colourful. Or it's going to completely, it's all wound the wrong way. But basically, they are decks that tend to have scenes on them. I think the camera's going to pick it up too well, so I'll have to check the choice on this one. Just turn that off a moment, see if that makes any difference. Little bit. You get scenes on there, but there are also there's a line drawing on each one of them. I don't know if you can just make that out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got my camera focused up properly for this one, so I'll have to make sure that's done. But it's a real seasonal kind of deck.
Yeah, it is.
So,
like
and that's
that.
nice and colourful. And yeah, and then, you know, I went for a classic. I think it's a classic, which I'll probably end up using more than anything else. And that is the Sheridan Douglas, because I just love the colours in this one. It's real childlike.
Oh, look at that.
I've never heard of that one before.
Oh, this was when I first read my first book at the young age of 15 on tarot, the Alfred Douglas. This was the deck that they illustrated the book with in black and white.
Oh,
And I didn't know that you could still get it. And then last year when I went to Atlantis, I found it, and it was on my 50th birthday. It was like the universe was telling me I had to have it. It was actually really reasonable, about £20, but I like the kind of primary colours in this.
Yeah.
So all the decks I picked are all very colourful. But I'll probably dig out an oracle. I might use my Crystal Forest oracle.
And can I ask you both, if that's okay, how does it take you long to select, you know, a deck for this kind of thing? No.
It depends, really.
Did you really think about it, like, you know?
I went through my collection. I've got nothing that represents what I think, like the season. And why would there be a deck? Probably the nearest is Gerald Joyce on the Wildwood, but that's all the things there. And I thought, okay, what do I need right now? I need a bit of brightness. I need a bit of primary colours. I need a bit of nature. That's what I wanted. So that's what drew me.
It's just interesting to how you select your decks, which is interesting. I like Jonathan Okash and Thorn. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. That is.
That is quite an autumnal deck, but yeah. And
I don't own that one. I'm
the Green Witch.
Oh, it's a good one. I like that one as well.
So I'm just going to ask sort of a final question. I think that this time of year is, you know, coming up with plans. It's quite good to make a plan for doing something positive for the beginning of this year. I know it's January, but for the beginning of this cycle of the year. Do you have what do you think would make a really good positive change to your life?
That's a good question. Are you asking first?
I don't mind. Who wants to go first? Go on, Gerald.
Gerald, do you dig it?
Rephrase say the question again. Hi, Donna.
Doing something positive, make a change for something positive to start Imbolc off. What would you what would you plan to make a positive change in your life somehow? What would you do?
Oh,
not Sorry, by I put you on the spot there, didn't I?
You have put me on the spot, and I'll be perfectly honest. I was distracted because I was looking up the Tarot Avatara by Gabby Angus West, and then I was like going, I can't find it, and so I'm like, oh my gosh. So sorry,
Richie. I think you need to give him the teacher stare. You know that stare.
Hey, at least I was honest, and I said I wasn't really paying attention because it's Ben's fault.
Don't blame me.
It's his fault.
I'm just disappointed.
Oh, well, okay. I could deal with the disappointment. Oh, I tried to thwart my fan, and my fan reacted.
That's karma.
This is the
right there. That's karma.
That was the fan going, don't give Richie a hard time. So what would I start? I actually really like I keep going back to the, I was laughing about this, but the word of the year. And I think it's just a great way for me to let's be intentional about doing something, because this is the planning part. Yeah. But it's I'm going to be general and then I will get specific. This is the part of how are we going to make these things happen, and then be willing to set up, here's the next thing that I can do to make that happen.
Yeah.
And slow down enough now to get underway.
Yeah, I like that.
Probably don't trim his toenails more often. Question.
I encourage that, Robin. Yes, karma. Thanks, Orshi.
Jonathan, I think you might like Tarot of the Mystical Moments, Orshi. Or Gerald, don't look that one up on your phone.
Jeffrey already has it, so I have access to it.
Beth says Candy did a flip through review recently of Tarot Avatar.
Yes, I saw that. That's what got me onto it, actually. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Beth.
So Ben, what about you? Any thoughts of a positive change for this season?
Yes. I mean, I'm piggybacking on a little bit of what Gerald said, but I felt like the beginning of the year was the planning stage, and I'd set the intention to make more connections. And the end of this month has been such a lot of connections for me, especially this week has been very busy. And I've always been very nervous about doing live readings because of my confidence. I'm just, I'm always worried that what if it doesn't resonate. And I had the most amazing night with Tanji the other night. And it was so much fun, and it was just, we read cards. It was for entertainment purposes only, of course, but it was just fun, and I felt like, it doesn't matter how anybody reads. It's how whatever you read, it doesn't matter. It's how everyone's got their own style, and it was just such a nice space to do that in, and that's really pushed me forward confidence-wise to carry on with that. And I'd like to do more readings this year as well and get into that a bit more. So, and then of course you two asked me to come on Monday, and so it's all just fitting in place really. So, it's just
amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
I would flip a fan, but I don't want to be,
I'll do it for
dished
you
anymore.
You don't take an eye out or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good way to start, the new year.
Oh, thanks.
With all the lovely praise, you did well.
Oh, Jonathan, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone's being.
Yeah, Tanji was so welcoming, and we had fun. It was fun. I think we were on for nearly 3 hours. It was that much fun. So, yeah.
Do you see that? Do you see that?
Oh, yeah. Tanji, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, okay.
That must be the Tarot of Mystical Moments.
Well, I am going to just try and do small, nice things for people. That's what I've decided to do.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of one new thing a day. Just perhaps take a little bit more time out of my day to talk to somebody, or that I might not necessarily do, or don't feel like I have to tut when I'm behind somebody that's walking slow. That kind of thing. I'm just going to try and be a little bit more positive every day. That's how I'm planning to take this season, because in the busy rat race of life that we all live in, it's very easy to think of yourself just as a solo person here, and I'm going to try and be more sort of open to the collective and kind of being nicer, more positive that way.
Oh, that's
and it'll be nice to see how you can be creative with that.
I like that, because creative is my watchword of the year.
There you go.
And I'm going to finish my scarf as well, that I nearly finished, because I want to wear it it won't be ready by Monday, but I'm ready. I'm very proud of my hand knitted scarf.
Lovely.
Oh, wow. I need to see that, Richie.
When it's complete, Ben. When it's complete.
I will wait with
bated
breath.
Okay, before we wrap this wonderful hour and 15 minutes up, let's talk about Monday. Let's talk about some of the rules and what we're going to do. Gerald, I'm going to pass that back over to you, because you do this so well.
It's LongStache, which is on TarotStache's channel. Everybody's liked and subscribed.
Here we go. Thing in.
Thank you. And we will be doing readings around the topic of Imbolc. And no medical, no legal, stuff like that. There'll be all sorts of stuff there's all sorts of stuff in the description, what we will do and what we won't do. We'll try to get through as many as we can. But we'll start with any other thoughts that the three of us have had since today. What have we talked about? And because if people in the chat want to share what they think the reading should be about, they can do that.
Happy to ideas.
I'm ready. I've got, surprise, I have a writing utensil and paper. So, but would you add anything to that, Richie?
No, I think, it's going to be probably a 3-card reading, unless we, have jumpers or we want to add another card in, but going to be based, as you say, around the themes of Imbolc. And of course, if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, we can kind of tailor it. We can probably adopt many of the things that we're going to do anyway. So we don't want to upset anyone down south, so to speak. So we will be happily to take anyone's anyone that wants a reading on that one. We'll select them possibly at random, or think about a way of trying to be fair. But yes, as we said, it's for fun, and just here to celebrate and have a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun and practice our reading. So that's what it's about. Ben, anything to add at all?
No, I'm just looking forward to spending some time with you two fabulous people and doing readings.
I'm answering your question, Beth.
Good idea. Set a reminder. Jonathan's off to finish his workout. Okay.
Oh, bye, Jonathan.
2 p.m. Eastern on Monday, the 31st of January, 2022. 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's on TarotStache. So.
And that's 7 p.m. GMT time, if there's any British people out there.
So, Robin's asked, is it 3-for-1 readings, or will each of you read for a different person? We'll have 1 card each. And
we'll continue to do that. 1 card each, and there'll be 3 positions for the 3-card reading, and then we'll rotate it, because it's Robin. It's like what we did when you and Jonathan were on, and each person will read, and then we'll have an opportunity to, any of us have thoughts about the 3 cards together Thank you, Kristen. I have that written down.
How to light your way. Donna says, ooh, I might actually be able to make that. Everyone's welcome. Yeah, regular time, 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST, and anywhere else in between. I'm not quite sure. You'll have to do the maths on that one. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you very much, Joe. We're going to go and discuss now in great detail what we're going to perform and do on Monday. But have a wonderful weekend. If we don't get a chance to catch up with you, have a wonderful Imbolc. Have a wonderful, introspective, quiet, lovely new beginning. Take care. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you all really, really soon. So, bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,